Hello, welcome back to Smooth Traffic on YouTube once again. We're now here with the SsangYong Tivoli XLV, which is a great monster of a vehicle. It's kind of a giant SUV as opposed to a standard size SUV, because it's almost like an estate back to it, so they've added an extra pillar. What is there to say really? It's certainly a style that divides opinion, particularly the back side of it, which you would probably argue is a little more boxy than possibly you'd like it to be. But it's the interior that we're going to look at here. Now again, this is probably the kind of thing that people will look at and either go, that's amazing, or that's horrible. I actually like this. I think the red on grey sort of mismatch is quite a good look. You know, it's a fairly decent interior, reasonably Spartan, I suppose you might say, but there are a lot of buttons, obviously operating air conditioning. You've got the small screen there, which gives you all the information that you need for your radio, etc. The one thing I will say, obviously, this comes in under £22,000 for a giant SUV, and then if you head to the back of the car, you've got a rather big load space. Yeah, obviously there's still room for 3 people in the back seats. Spare tyre underneath, but a bit of space around it if you've suddenly found you've got one bag too many, I suppose, which quite often we would do at Smooth Traffic. Yeah, easy getting in and out of the boot, probably 5-man boot, I would say. So yeah, realistically 10 people in that car, no problem. So here we are inside the SsangYong Tivoli XLV, which Ben will very happily point out that is very, very red. Lots of red. Lots and lots of red. It drives fairly well actually, considering it's quite a large box on wheels. The automatic gearbox is pretty good. It's not struggling too much. It seems to be dropping down a gear when it needs to, rather than you do find a few gearboxes that will, you know, sort of really labour until the last minute to drop down, but it seems to be pretty switched on. There is a touch screen which has built-in TomTom sat-nav. Obviously other brands are available, but this one is built in, so if you don't like TomTom, or just plug in your Garmin, I suppose. There's a radio as well as obviously full phone connectivity, including an HDMI port, which obviously means that you can then mirror your phone to the screen, which is quite useful obviously now with the new laws relating to mobile phone use in the car. So a couple of things that we just want to pick up on though are the lane assist function and also the road sign recognition, which obviously two fairly standard you know, sort of inclusions on most vehicles these days, most top-end vehicles anyway. But this is, like many vehicles, with the lane assist, this will keep you in the lane without any, well, I'm assured, without any human intervention required. So we're just going to give that a quick test out now by getting up to speed a bit in this on the bowl, and I'm going to remove my hands from the steering wheel. And the car is driving us round a corner. That's quite good. That's amazing. I'm not going to hold the steering wheel again because there is an AMG GT coming up on my outside and I don't really want to plough into it. But, really impressive. I guess people probably wouldn't naturally associate, you know, a lot of technological inclusions with a smaller brand like SsangYong, but
especially at the price as well. It's quite cheap.
Yeah, especially at such a low price, particularly. But yeah, I mean that I'm particularly impressed by, and I won't lie, I was a bit sceptical of taking my hands off the steering wheel then, but quite comfortable to let the car do that. The other one is the road sign recognition, which we haven't actually been past any signs, but I did see it flash up not long after we'd started driving, so I think it does do exactly what it says on the tin. This just feels a little too big. It doesn't feel as big as it looks when you're actually driving, but when you look in that rear view mirror, and it does look like it's
a long way back.
You know, it does feel like it's about 10 feet back to the rear windscreen. So obviously that's not true, but it's just one of those strange tricks of the light.
The styling inside is a little bit. There's some quirky sides. You know, the door actually looks quite nice. There's a couple of different sort of textures and colours and stuff, which is nice. But the centre console is quite cluttered. It's a bit shiny. I'm not sure. It just doesn't quite work for me.
There is a lot.
And the touchscreen, although it's got quite a lot of functionality, that was a little bit busy. You're trying to go onto the radio and things like that. It was like, not quite sure, you know, how it worked. It should be instinctive, and I don't think it is quite yet. So,
but on the plus side, you adjust the seats manually, and that is something that is sorely missed in a lot of vehicles these days.